In this tutorial, we're going to walk through setting up our scoring rules. So let me click next and get to the scoring page. This is a pretty straightforward page and there's not a lot of information here. So basically you have 5 different options for scoring, and we'll walk through those here. The first option is to score based on golfer earnings. This is probably the most popular way to score fantasy golf. The second option here is to score based on the cumulative golfer's 2-par score. This option you'll see is disabled, and the reason that is we only provide this scoring option for single tournament leagues. So the only way you'd be able to set this to 2-par scoring would be if you only had one tournament in your league schedule, and this is more for Masters pools or just pools for major events that people set up. And the reason we only allow this for single tournament schedules is courses change, and some courses are more difficult than others, and to run a season-long schedule using 2-par, it really throws off the scoring because it changes the value of each tournament, because like I said, some courses are much more difficult than others. The third option here is scoring based on where a golfer places in the tournament. The fourth option is scoring based on golfer strokes, and then the fifth is scoring based on categories. So we'll walk through these and we'll go bottom to top here. So if we look at the categories option, this is where we can set values for the different scoring categories. So you can set points for a win. So you could set this as, I want to score 100 points for a win. And then you can set points for second place. So we'll say 50 points for second place. And then for third, we can set point values as well. We can set points for a top 10 finish. So we'll set 10 for top 10. You can set points for a top 25. So we can set that to 5. You can set points for making a cut and missing a cut. So we'll give 2 points for making a cut, and then we will do -1 point for missing a cut. And then you can also choose to give points for shooting a low round in a tournament. So this would be awarded for each round. And so I'll just set that to 0 since I don't want to set points for a low round. And then with all the scoring options, there'll be this option to multiply points for special events. So let's just say that we want to have our special events be 2 times the value. And a common question we get with this scoring system here is whether or not if I get a win, I get the points for the win and second and third all the way down, and that's not the case. So second only gets the 50 points. It doesn't get 50 points plus 2 for making a cut plus 5 for getting a top 25. It's just if you get second, you get 50. If you win, you get 100. So let's move on to the golfer strokes option. So this option is what a lot of the leagues use who want to set up their scoring similar to the old Yahoo format. So with this option, you can choose to score based on the total tournament strokes, or you can score round by round. So we'll choose the round by round option. That means you're going to get points for each of the rounds of the tournament. And then the first option here is we're going to set the points that we're going to award to the lowest score golfer. So the golfer with the lowest amount of strokes will get 20 points. And then the second field is what we're going to subtract for each stroke above that amount. So let's just say that we're going to subtract 2 points for every stroke above the lowest stroke total. The third option here is bonus points for winning the tournament. So we'll say we'll award 10 bonus points for a win. We'll award 5 bonus points for a second, and then we'll do 2 bonus points for third. And then again, here's our option to multiply points for special events. And let's just say we set that to 2. So basically how this scoring system would work, let's use the example that the best golfer shoots 10 under par. So the best score is 10 under, and let's say second happened to shoot 8 under par. So there's 2 strokes different, and because we're subtracting 2 per stroke, it would be 2 times 2, and that would be 4 points. So that second place golfer would get 16 points because it would be 20 points minus the 4 points for the next best golfer, and that would have been 16 points. Okay, let's move on to scoring based on where a golfer places. So this is very similar to the one we just walked through, but instead of being based on strokes, it's based on place. So in that last example I gave, the second place golfer was actually 2 strokes behind, so there would be a bigger gap in that scoring system between first and second than there would be in this one. So let's say that we award 20 points for first place. Then we can give our bonuses for win, second, and third. So we can say we're going to give a 10-point bonus for first, a 5 for second, and a 2 for third. And then this is the amount that we're going to subtract for each place below first. So let's just say we're going to subtract 2 points. So in this example, it wouldn't matter what the golfers shot for scores. First place, if we're not talking about the bonus points, the first place would be awarded 20 points, and second place would automatically be awarded 18 points. And it wouldn't matter how big of a gap there was in scoring between first and second. And then down below, again, we have our multiplier that you can set for the special events. So we'll skip the 2 par score because we don't have that option available, but that, when you do have that available for running a single tournament golf pool, how you'll score with that is you will set the amount of golfers that you want to score based on. So you may have team owners select a roster of 6 golfers, and then you would set how many you want to score. So you might say that you're going to score the top 6, the top 4 golfers of the total 6 for each roster. And so that would accumulate 4 of your 6 best golfers 2 par scores. And what that means is that each team, if to qualify for scoring, they would have to have at least 4 golfers make the cut. And then going to our last option here at the top, scoring by earnings. This one's very straightforward. It just accumulates the golfer earnings at the end of each tournament. And so the only setting here that we really need to be concerned with is the multiplication for special events. So let's just go ahead and we'll choose to score by earnings, and then we're going to multiply our special events by 2. And that pretty much covers how to set up scoring for your league.